What do you think of women in other cultures and how they treat their men?
Ooh, I think foreign women treat their men great. They have traditional values, they cook for them, they clean for them, and they know their roles.
I feel like in other cultures, a lot of women are more submissive.
Define other cultures. Are we talking like where woman is like the housekeeper and men do the work, but the women serve the men? Because those women, they're doing a job, but I don't want to do that job.
It's a little bit more stricter on women, so like they can't really like do what they want to as far as going outside and like having fun and stuff in other cultures as much as they can in America.
Do you think those women are ignorant slaves or are they happy?
I think they're doing what they need to do to get by. I think they're doing what they think they're supposed to.
Oh no, they're not ignorant slaves. I believe most of them are happy and stuff. My grandma's a traditional woman and she's very happy, so.
They treat their men very well. They actually worship their men. I see a lot of standing behind their men, waiting for their men. Even just the other day, I saw this lady get out of her Uber, leaving her husband in a car and just walked away. I wouldn't see that in a Eastern country or a more egalitarian country.
I think it's because they want to. The only reason why I'm gonna say that is because of the way they're brought up. They're told differently to actually do certain things for that man that just comes second nature.
Because they want to, like nobody over there force girls. They're free. Like the girls choose to do it.
Nobody's forcing no one.
Countries that aren't necessarily third world don't have as many doesn't have as much infrastructure or as many opportunities or as many options. So it kind of forces the woman and the people there to kind of follow structures that are a little bit more traditional and a little bit more natural to them.
Do you think those women are ignorant slaves or are they happy?
They're happy. Happiness is when you can have a family and you can grow something from scratch, from nothing.
Why do you think so many men are traveling overseas to find wives in other countries?
Men are traveling overseas to find wives. Why? I'm right here. I'm single.
No,
Why? I want to be married.
Right, but I'm saying, do you typically see women traveling overseas
If
to find
men are
husbands?
traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education, it's because they want a woman who is dependent on them for their livelihood, for their resources, to have a good life. And I don't think that that is a good thing.
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, they're pervy.
What are your thoughts on 90 Day Fiance or passport bros?
The passport bros make sense. I can see why men are incentivized to look elsewhere for more traditional qualities in women. 90 Day Fiance, though, I think they have a bad record of matching terrible people together.
Ooh, I'm all for passport bros. If you want to go somewhere where they're going to love, respect you, cherish you, cook and clean, and they understand their roles, you should go somewhere where you're loved. Because women in today's society, especially modern day women, not all women, it's just you guys forgot your roles. You're supposed to cook, you're supposed to clean, you're supposed to love your partner and take care of his heart and soul, just like men take care of us physically, mentally, and they provide for us. They never forgot their role. So men, if you want to be a passport bro, I support it 100%. Have fun.
When it comes to exotic women, what cultures do you prefer and why?
Hispanics, I guess, I like better.
Is your preference based more on looks or behavior?
Right now, I think looks, we're young, so yeah. The only thing we think about it, have fun.
I'm Jamaican, so I would naturally prefer my own culture. Why? Because there isn't much of a cultural barrier or a language barrier to go over. But also, there's a stereotype that Asian women are a little bit more traditional, a little bit more feminine. So I'm got my eyes on them as well.
When the woman and the man have a date, the man is buy everything. And in the American, we share the man and woman share when we have a date.
So you're saying in Vietnam he pays and in America they split? Like they share, they split the money.
Yeah. In the American, you share the money.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you like that? Which is better, Vietnam or in America?
I think it's American is better. Yeah,
Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the woman have a work and the man have a work too. We say it's for fair. Yeah.
Over there in Italy, it's more for the family and for the husband, cook, clean, and all this stuff. Here it's more like, oh, you're a man, you can do it. Or like, why I have to do it for you when I work? Yeah, but I work too, you know. So if I work and I'm gonna do it, and you work and I'm gonna do it, like who's gonna clean the house? Who's gonna cook?
Women are definitely equipped with a lot more traditional skills, i.e. cooking, cleaning, and a con, I would say, is they're just as sometimes very assertive or outgoing as some of the males are. And yeah, feminism is kind of creeping its way in, just little by little.
What do you think the reason that men are not like satisfied with the women in this country and they're looking elsewhere outside
Men
to
aren't
other countries?
satisfied with the women in this country? Where are you getting this off of?
Well, Passport Bros and 90 Day Fiance. I mean, obviously there's a movement about that.
That is the outlier. That is the exception to the rule. I don't think the majority of men are not happy with women in this country.
Does a woman's behavior play any role in how she's treated by men?
Yes, huge role actually. How you carry yourself and how you behave towards yourself and how you treat others is a very good indicator of how people treat you and how you actually expect to be treated. So yeah.
So why are people so quick to blame the man when things go wrong in a relationship?
Because it's still their fault.
Why is that?
Well, because I'm a woman and I know best.
That's because men are always willing and ready to take the responsibility even when things are going to shit. I myself have taken blame for things that I haven't necessarily been responsible for, so it's just a thing that men are innately going to shoulder the burden and the responsibility even if it's not ours to bear.
Do you believe it's a man's duty to respect a woman regardless of how she treats him in return?
No. Respect begets respect. You being disrespectful, of course, there's a line that men try to not cross, but that's a situation where you just need to exit the situation and leave right away.
Does a woman's behavior play any role in how she's treated by men?
Yes. Yeah.
So why are people so quick to blame the man when things go wrong in a relationship?
Because the men are supposed to be the breadwinners. It's easy to blame them.
Because women don't like accountability, women don't like being wrong, and nobody holds women accountable. They enable women, so it's easier to blame the man, like always.
It's not always the guy's fault, but people are quick to judge the guy faster than they are the girl. So
why is that?
I don't know. People just perceive men bad.
They do.
And I don't agree with it, but that's just how guys are perceived. So
there are good men out there. You just gotta
find them, pick through them.
Yeah.
Who is more likely to be expected to settle for a partner that doesn't treat them right, men or women?
Wow. That one's tricky, but I do want to say men. Men 9 times out of 10 they date and marry down. So they're going to be the ones that are going to be more than likely unsatisfied.
Maybe it's not the majority of men, but it's starting to become a movement.
Well, fuck you. Go away. Go find your women wherever you want. If you're not satisfied, I don't know what to tell you. If you want a woman who barely even speaks English and just has to suck your dick, go for it.
Well, I'm just asking on behalf of those men, I suppose. So, if your average man is treated better by women overseas, why do men prefer to stay here and play the game when the odds are so heavily stacked against them?
Well, I think it's because it's what they know, and the thing that the United States has going for it is that the money's all here. So we all have to make a living and support ourselves and our lifestyles. So that's the reason, because you end up missing our culture we grew up in when you live in another country. But I'll tell you what, it's such a different feeling when you're in another country, how great you get treated as a man.
Essentially, why should men spend so much time grooming themselves to please the toxic women here?
They take what they can get because they have to. That's how society has played them into, doing that. Good men aren't appreciated.
So I feel as though there's some men who do groom themselves for women because men want to provide and protect and all that good stuff, but I do feel like it's part of their thing that they want to do for themselves. I don't think men should do that. That's just my personal opinion. Groom yourself for you, love yourself for you, not for other women, especially in today's generation where women are showing they don't care about men and they don't give a shit about them. Yeah.
Why are you more likely to see female empowerment in first world countries?
Wow, great question there. Well, it's our culture. It's passed down from woman to woman, depending on where you're raised. That's why the family unit is so important, man and woman raising the family, because it gives you the correct outlook on life.
And lastly, if there was one thing you wish men understood better about women, what would it be?
Understood?
Yeah.
I think the man cannot understood woman.
Why not?
The woman, they always think another one and say another one.
So why do we have the expression, where have all the good men gone, but nobody's asking where have all the good women gone?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I feel like there still is good men out here. I'm not saying I'm not saying there's no good women out here, but I feel like all the feminists and the women that are like bad are shouting from the rooftops, and there's not enough women, that care about men that have a big voice about it.
Are women the problem, or are the people influencing women the problem?
It's all the influences on women, actually, since when they're little girls. Me raising 2 girls now that are teens as a widower, you see it. I see what they're bombarded with on a daily basis. It's definitely our culture.
Wow, 100% the people influencing the women are the problem. Naturally, I think women know what's right and they know kind of where to fall into place. Women know they're weaker physically, sometimes even mentally. They know sometimes they really depend on men, but because of the messaging and the marketing that's so powerful, it's going to be hard to get away from that brainwashing.
It's not really fair because, we're persecuted for every decision we make, but women are allowed to act trashy and disrespect themselves and disrespect men, but no one wants to stand up and say, hey, enough is enough.
Why do so many men think foreign women are the answer if many of those women will use men for citizenship?
Because they can get about 5 levels of a higher of a partner than they could here in the United States, and that's the trade-off.
I think men innately know that there's always a trade-off. There's always something that they're willing to give up and that they're willing to sacrifice to find love. You going to another country to find love is already an arduous and difficult task. So they know that there's obviously going to be some drawbacks.
A lot of people don't want to change their lifestyle either. Like a man probably content in his lifestyle that he has here, and he don't want to change his whole beliefs and whole custom and learn a whole new country. So
why are men always expected to sacrifice while women are always expected to be compensated?
Again, we're the ones willing to do so. We don't have a problem with sacrificing. Even now, sure, having to work 23 hours a day, we'll do it because it's a sacrifice we're willing to make. It's just something that comes with being a man. Women, I don't think they're willing to do it, and that's what's going to be the major difference.
If it wasn't for sex, do you think men would be willing to make that sacrifice?
No.
So isn't it really all just about the power of the vajayjay?
Yeah, pretty much. Power to pum pum.